So hello everybody, my name is Jutta Schönhaar and I'm heading the Extreme Distribution. Today we have our first webinar in the series to prepare the BVE show in London by end of this month. Today I have Aurélien with me who will give you a deeper insight into the Woody products and the technology Woody is offering today, and then he will give also some insights in the highlights of this year BVE show. Just to give you a quick idea, what we will show on BVE this year is a portfolio of different product partners which are part of the Extreme family, and you could see the Woody logo very present in the middle. Today you have me and Aurélien, and I'm happy to give the word over to Aurélien to give you an insight in Woody Technologies products. Aurélien, are you ready to go?
I am ready. Thank you, Jutta. Hello, everyone. And thank you very much for joining today for this webinar. As Jutta just said, we will have a quick overview of the Woody products and also have some words about the highlights for this BVE show coming in a few weeks in London. During this webinar, you will be able to ask some questions through the chat box. So don't hesitate if you have any questions during my presentation. And at the end, we will be happy to give you the answers that we can provide about all the products and all the features that we will show at BVE. First, for those who don't know yet Woody Technologies as a company, a quick company overview. Woody Technologies is belonging to a group with 15 years of experience in broadcast and post-production workflows. We provide the software solutions to the major players of the industry in many countries. Our solutions are focused on media and metadata processing. We are mainly dealing with ingest and outgest workflows, so making content available in a post-production environment or getting content out of the post-production environment for publishing and distribution. We are really focused on the needs expressed by our customers and our users. So we are completely driven by the feedbacks you and our customers give us to develop this or this feature or this or this product. Last word about our state of mind. We try to provide very easy to use, easy to install, and easy to maintain solutions. So this is really our focus. We are dealing with complex technology, but we want to keep it very simple for the users and for the administrators. Of course, we are not working alone in this industry. We are partnering with many other players and companies. As you can see here, we are partnering with media asset management vendors, camera vendors, storage vendors. Unfortunately, not all our partners are presented here, but you have a rough idea of who we are innovating with, and it's really, really important to us. Quick word about our customers. Our customers are mainly broadcasters of any kind, of any size, and also post-production companies and post-production facilities, which is a growing part of our customer base. We are present now in around 20 countries, represented in Europe and Middle East by Extreme Distribution. And we also have an office in Los Angeles with sales and support team there to cover North and Latin America, and also to offer extended support hours. Just a quick reminder, if you don't know it already, about the product line of Woody Technologies. We have Woody Intuit, which is our flagship product dedicated to ingest from cameras and any shooting device. Woody Ingest for automated transcoding and ingest workflows. Woody Social for ingest of content coming from social networks, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, etc. And Woody Outgest, which is a bit specific to Avid users and to Avid customers who need to transfer content from their Avid environment to the web, the playout, or to the archive. We also have a third-party product named ShareIt. It's a tight integration between technology provided by Automated, which is one of our strong partners, and Woody Technologies. And the goal of this product is to provide a tight integration between the Adobe creative tools like After Effects and Photoshop and Avid environments. Of course, ShareIt can also integrate with other media asset management solution. We will talk about it later. And then we do some custom developments and custom integrations for our customers, or customization on our products, or completely specific projects depending on the requests. So this is about the product line. Now, what is new in 2019 for Woody Technologies, and what will be shown at BVE in London in a few weeks? The first thing that we will see today is the new versions that we have for Woody Intuit, for local and remote ingest, and also for centralized ingest. So Woody Intuit is changing. We have created new variants, and I will give you an idea of these different versions that we are going to propose at BVE. We also have a new media player coming in the Woody apps with new capabilities and very nice feature. We have new transcoding features coming in Woody Ingest and Woody Outgest, and Woody Social, which is very popular at this moment for ingest from social networks, will also be available in the cloud. So we offer now cloud deployments for Woody Social, which makes it very, very easy to start with and to integrate in your workflow. And the last thing is about all the Woody products. We have rebuilt our architecture. It was already presented at IBIS in Amsterdam in September last year. We have reformed this architecture to bring scalability and redundancy for all the Woody workflows. So this is a bit what I will show you now. Not everything is available already, but I invite you to come to the booth at BVE to know more. I will start first with a quick reminder about the Woody architecture in general, the technical architecture. All the Woody apps are based on the same Woody engine, which is doing all the media and metadata processing tasks. On top of this engine, we have our API, which allows our user interfaces or the third-party user interfaces to connect and to trigger jobs and tasks. And on the other side, we have all the integrations with the systems used by our customers, media asset management, transfer, acceleration, file systems, cloud storage providers, etc., etc. So Woody Intuit, as I explained to you, we have new versions of Woody Intuit that are coming, but for those who don't know already Woody Intuit, what is it? Woody Intuit is a very intuitive tool that allows any user, journalist, editor, ingest operator to browse, select, and ingest any kind of source media to a production environment. The challenge of Woody Intuit is to be really easy to use, so it can be used by non-technical users, but at the same time, it has to offer a very strong workflow control, making sure that the material will come to the production environment at the good format, at the good place, and with the good name. So this is the purpose of Woody Intuit. Woody Intuit integrates with many media asset management or storage solutions from the market. and is also compatible with many different sources. So of course, its first use is for ingest of Sony, Panasonic, Canon camera cards, but it's supporting much more than that and can be used also to ingest content from GoPro, drones, or any graphic, video, or audio file. I will show you in a minute the user interface of Woody Intuit and how it works if you don't know it already. But first, let me explain you the different versions that we have for Woody Intuit. The one in the middle on this slide, which is the legacy Woody Intuit, the one you already know, still exists and is adapted to the model where you need a dedicated ingest workstation. It means that you will connect all your devices to the workstation, and all the media processing will be done locally, and the resulting media and metadata will be published to your central storage or to your media asset management system. So this is the most used deployment of Woody Intuit until now. But now we have new versions coming for Woody Intuit. The first one on the left here is Woody Intuit Go. Woody Intuit Go replaces an old product from Woody Technologies, which was named Code Reporter. And the purpose of Woody Intuit Go is to offer to the reporters being on the field with their laptop a very intuitive tool to select the content, encode it to the expected target format, and transfer it over various protocols to the main facility or to the correspondent that they are producing for. So Woody Intuit Go can be easily deployed on laptops, can be used to browse and index the content, which can be raw footage or edited stories, and to transfer it over various protocols, FTP, Aspera, File Catalyst, to a remote site. So Woody Intuit Go is the answer for all the remote ingest done from the field by field reporters. Then we have the other new version, which is displayed on the right here, which is Woody Intuit Server, which can be combined with Woody Intuit Essentials. The purpose of Woody Intuit Server is to offer a centralized ingest system, which will process all the media coming into the production environment. The Woody Intuit Server can be used through a web client. I will show you in a minute. Or it can be fed by Woody Intuit Essentials. Woody Intuit Essentials is a light client that you can deploy on your client stations, which will be used to browse, select, and push the content to the central server farm. So this is what Woody Intuit Server and Woody Intuit Essentials are made for: centralized ingest infrastructure. So as you can see here, depending on your use case, one or multiple of these solutions can be useful for you. But let me show you a bit the user interface of Woody Intuit and what has changed in this user interface, as I mentioned before. So I will now switch to my Woody Intuit, and I will even go to my Woody Intuit server installation. It means that Woody Intuit is not running on my local station, it's running on a distant server, and I will remotely access this user interface. What you can see here is that the first thing I must do is to log on to the user interface. We have a complete users management layer, which can also be connected to your Active Directory system. And thanks to this users management layer, we can filter what can be done by the users that you have registered in your system. So I'm logging in to the system, and here I come in the web user interface of Woody Intuit. As you can see here, I am not running anything on my client. It's just Google Chrome, and I am accessing remotely the server where Woody Intuit is running. This is very new, and this is the new architecture that we are offering with Woody Intuit Server. When you are connected to the server, you can browse the content which is visible by the server. So all the cards, the footage has to be visible by the server. The browser is still the same. You can go through your file system, and you can scan the content of the file system to identify all the media structures that can be ingested by Woody Intuit. So as you can see here, we have some XD cam, some P2, some Canon, but also some 5D content. We should have some GoPro somewhere. And we also have just media folder. So what we name media folder is just video, audio, graphic files in a folder without a particular structure. So thanks to Woody Intuit Server, you can access remotely to this content, and you can open it in the user interface. And of course, you can open different kind of cards at the same time. This is here that you will be able to prepare your ingest and to start it. What has changed in the Woody Intuit user interface is that we still have a player available here, but this player is now different, as it's not reading directly the high resolution from the source media, because the source media is only visible by my Woody Intuit server. It's not visible by my client directly. But this player is generating a preview on the fly for my Woody Intuit client. And of course, we can connect several clients to one Woody Intuit server. So it's a very secure way also to manage the footage, because there is no direct access to the footage from the client in this configuration. What has also changed with the Woody Intuit player is that now we have audio viewmeter available directly in the user interface and showing the content of the audio tracks. And you can also select which audio track you want to mute or to listen to, give you a better control on the footage. The last thing that comes with this new version of the player and of the user interface is the management of locators. Locators are time-coded markers that you can put on your footage and that can be transported as metadata with the media that you will ingest to your production environment. So you can add different kind of locators, can choose a color for the locator, which time code it will be placed, and then you can add some name and description to your locator, which is saved as metadata on the clip. And of course, you can reopen later and modify these locators. So these are the new features of Woody Intuit user interface: a new player, audio control, locators, and most important, the video preview, which is generated on the fly by the server on the source media. Just a word to say that this player is also available for all the variants of Woody Intuit. So it's the same for Woody Intuit Go, Woody Intuit Standalone Edition, and for Woody Intuit Server. Just a quick look back to the presentation and to the different versions of Woody Intuit that we are introducing. Oh, sorry, started again from the beginning. So just a quick reminder of the various use cases that can be handled by these different versions. The first use case is the standard one. You have ingest workstations. They are used by journalists or by operators, and they are directly connected to your production system. Here we have an Avid system in the example, but of course we can also connect to other media asset management or production asset management systems such as TDL, Dalet, Cantemo, or many others. So this is the first case where you want to connect the source media or the card reader directly to the Woody Intuit station and do the ingest to the production environment. This is Woody Intuit. Woody Intuit server, which I've just shown you, is when you want only to operate through a web browser. In this case, the user interface is served by the servers, and the media must be visible by the servers. So it can be the cards reader directly connected to the server, or it can be just a NAS storage where you have put the footage in the first place, and that is accessed later for ingest to the production environment. Then we have the configuration with Woody Intuit Essentials, which is a mix of the two previous configurations. So Woody Intuit Essentials in this case is used because you want to have your media connected to your clients, so cards reader, hard drives connected to your clients, but you want the media processing to be done centrally by the server. So what Woody Intuit Essentials will do in this case is just allowing you to preview and select the content and then push the job and the media to the Woody Intuit server, where it will be processed with the metadata to the production environment. The last use case that we have is Woody Intuit Go. In this case, Woody Intuit is deployed on laptops on the fields. Of course, the content is directly managed locally on the laptop. It can be transmitted as raw footage or with encoding to go over internet network, and media plus metadata are transmitted to the broadcaster facility over one of the available protocols, including FTP, Aspera, and File Catalyst plus some others. To manage all these Woody Intuit Go stations that can be on dozens of laptops around the world, we will release in Q2 a Woody configuration service that will allow you to do central configuration and central management of all your Woody Intuit Go stations, meaning that you will be able to configure once the transfer parameters and encoding parameters, and that they will be automatically copied on the Woody Intuit Go stations when Woody Intuit Go is started on these stations. And on the other way, you will get back all the notifications and monitoring of what has been transferred on the Woody configuration service, which will allow the administrators to monitor the traffic and all the jobs that are done by the Woody Intuit Go stations. So this is a big change in the Woody product line. And now we can say that we are covering all the use cases for local and remote ingest, and also for centralized ingest solution. So if you want to know more about Woody Intuit and how it works, I invite you to join us at BVE on the stand and to get a full demo. Of course, in all these Woody Intuit versions, we still have all the features that made the success of Woody Intuit, including the mandatory fields that you can ask the users to fill before an ingest. I will show you in a second on my local Woody Intuit, which is also running on my station. Of course, we still have all the profiles management, so you can create as many profiles as you want to address various destinations. The profiles can be filtered depending on who is using Woody Intuit at the moment. So you can make sure that if you have several productions or several customers, if you are a post-production facility using the same Woody Intuit system, each one can see only the profiles he is allowed to use. So you can have many profiles. Depending on the profile, you have the mandatory fields that you can ask the users to fill to make sure that all the content is identified when it comes to the production environment. So all of this is unchanged. Naming rules, folder creation rules, all the workflow rules apply here. And when you click on the process button, the transcoding or the rewrap or the copy is triggered, and the media is processed with the metadata to the right place at the right format. So this is the new features that we have of Woody Intuit. Now let me talk to you about Woody ingest and Woody outgest, because we have also some new features for these products. Sorry, I can't find my mouse anymore. Where is it? Okay, it is lost somewhere. Here. So for Woody ingest and Woody outgest, which are the tools that we have for all the automated workflows based on watch folders, so processing of media and metadata triggered by watch folder or through API. We also offer API control for all these tools. The new features that we have are related to the transcoding and the output formats. So previously, until now, we had only MXF OP1A and MXF OP8 as output format. Now we are introducing new output formats for these tools, which are QuickTime Movie wrapper and MP4 wrapper. So you can produce new custom formats and wrapper as output and deliver them over the protocols that are offered in the Woody tools, including all the transfer acceleration technologies, all the cloud storage providers delivery as well, or of course the media asset management integrations that we have mentioned for Woody Intuit. So new formats as output is something coming. Second thing that we have is the ability to burn in logo during the processing. So this is a request that we had from customers who want to send footage to a partner or to a customer, and they want the content to be watermarked. So now if you go to the Woody profiles configuration, you are able to configure some logo burning during the transcoding, and you can define some settings for this burning. So if you want it to be applied on the entire video, or if you want to define some offsets from the start and the end of the video. So it's also something that can be very useful for some workflows. Of course, all the features that we already had for the delivery, for the watch folders, is still present in Woody ingest and in Woody outgest for all the automated workflows. And if you want to know more, again, don't hesitate to ask us, and we can provide all details and also trial licenses of these products very easily. The other big new features that we will introduce at BVE and which is already available actually is for Woody Social. So Woody Social is the tool that we made for the journalists and the editors who need to deal with content coming from social media. Now, when an event happens, the first media available is posted on social networks like Instagram, Twitter, by anyone who is in the streets and seeing what is happening. So we identified the need to easily get this content available for editing or directly for on air. So this is why we created Woody Social, which is a very intuitive tool to get content ingested from a various social network. Let me show you quickly how it works. The idea is to connect to the Woody Social web interface. And what is new here is that we can host for you this Woody Social in the cloud. So you don't need to install anything in your facility if you don't want to. You don't need to deal with all the security constraints and questions from your IT department. We can host this in the cloud and do everything for you. So in this case, what you have to do is just to log into the cloud service. Oh, it will be easier if I use the right passwords. Here it is. And here you find the user interface of Woody Social, which can be used in two ways. The first way is to directly search in Woody Social from the user interface. So you can use the training topics from Twitter, for example, or you can directly type your query here in the search field. We have some advanced search filters which allow you to search the most recent, the most relevant, or the most popular content. And you can also filter the results by geolocation, publishing date, or some other criteria. When you get the result of your search, what is good is that you can directly preview them, photo, videos in the user interface. You don't need to open multiple browser tabs to preview your content. And the content that you actually want to ingest, you can directly just drag and drop the photos and the videos on the left. Of course, you can do this from various sources. Here, I'm also switching to the YouTube results, and I can also drag and drop my results in the left to build my shopping list, shopping carts of all the videos and the photos that I want to be ingested in my production environment. This is the first way of getting content ingested and of building a selection. But what can also happen is that you know that some photos or videos have been published on Instagram, or Facebook, or other websites, and someone is asking you to get this content available in the production environment. In this case, you don't need to search through a Woody social user interface because you already know what you want. So what you can do in this case is just copy and paste the URL of the content that you want to ingest. If I want this video to be ingested in my production environment, I will just copy the URL and paste it in Woody Social so it can be analyzed and added to my shopping list. So this is a very smooth way to get the content ingested from the social networks. The same for Facebook. I want this video to be ingested from Facebook. I can just display the URL of the video and paste it on my Woody social user interface. So now my shopping list is ready, but ingest is not done yet. What you can do now is choose a profile. We can have various profiles depending on the destinations. And if you have different workflows, we can build several profiles. And then when you click on process, the content is downloaded in the best available resolution, is transcoded to your house format, post-production format, and it will be delivered over the network, over the various protocols that we have to your production environment. So we can design together the best way to retrieve the content in your production environment, and we can provide also the tools on the facility side to get this done. All the media and also the metadata are preserved, so you can also have rich content coming in your production environment, and you can control this workflow. So it avoids having thousands of YouTube videos coming in the system with no control of the workflow. It's very easy and can be used by anyone, including the journalists themselves. So this is Woody Social, and now the cloud hosting is available for Woody Social. So if you want more details about that, just ask us, and we can provide all the information about these new possibilities for Woody Social. A last word of what we are showing this year at BVE. We have a collaboration with a partner, Automated, I mentioned it before, to easily integrate the Adobe Creative apps with the Avid environment, so Avid Media Central Production Management environment. This tool, Share It, allows you to easily publish content from After Effects or Photoshop to your Avid environment, and also in the other way to get content, extract content from the production environment and work on it in your project, in your Adobe project. So it's a very nice tool, and we will be really happy to make you a demo at BVE or before if you want. Just get in touch with us, and we will organize that. So Utah, this is this is the quick overview I wanted to give. I wanted to give today about what we are bringing in 2019, especially at BVE, and of course later at NAB in Las Vegas. So now, if there are questions, I'm fully available to answer.
Yes, thank you, Aurélien, for the overview. We got some questions. I will start from the top. Can you please elaborate on the pricing model of the existing and the new tools?
Yes, sure. So there are indeed some changes about the pricing related to the new versions coming. For Woody Intuit, it depends on the model. So we have per machine model for Woody Intuit standalone or Woody Intuit server versions, but we have also a per user model with the Woody Intuit Go, and also for Woody Intuit Server if you want to use only the web client. So depending on the need, depending on the project, we are quite flexible on the licensing model, and we can offer various licensing models. For Woody Ingest and Woody Outgest, now it's still a per server model. So you have one Woody Ingest server, you need one license. You have two, you need two. Quite easy. And for Woody Social, it's only per user. So it depends on the number of concurrent users that you want to have accessing the Woody Social user interface. And of course, the pricing is a bit different depending on if you are on premise or if you run Woody Social in the cloud. All the products and all the solutions we bring are available with permanent licensing and also with subscription models.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So the next question is going in somehow the same direction. How would upgrading from Woody Intuit to Woody Intuit Server work?
So for the existing customers of Woody Intuit, we will be proposing the upgrade quite soon. We are still finalizing the first release of Woody Intuit Server. So depending on the case, on the existing licenses, we will propose a scenario to upgrade to Woody Intuit Server and eventually to Woody Intuit Server plus Woody Intuit Essentials if there is a need to have also these live clients running on the client side.
And an additional add-on from me, what is if I buy today a Woody Intuit and then like to upgrade later on?
Yeah, that's completely doable. Just to explain you, the code that we have behind is the same. It's based on the same development. So it means that the license can be easily upgraded. You don't need to reinstall all your system.
Okay. So another question in the Woody Intuit server direction, how many file machines can I connect to one Woody Intuit server?
So how many? Sorry, how many?
How many machines?
Oh, it depends on the type of client. What we have is that you can have one Woody Intuit server, or we can build a farm across multiple servers. Depending on the number of Woody Intuit servers that you have, you can have more or less clients connected to them. So it's a bit different if it's web clients or if it's Essentials client, because the web client is requiring also the on-the-fly preview generation, so it's taking some resources on the server side. If you are going with Woody Intuit Essentials, it's somehow unlimited. What will bring the limitation is the number of simultaneous streams that you can have on the Woody Intuit server, which is highly related to your hardware. There is no limitation in the number of streams that comes with the license. The limitation will come with the hardware or with the network capabilities of the server.
Mm-hmm. Then one question to Woody Social.
Yes.
Does Woody Social download metadata like text from social media as well? And how is this forwarded to my newsroom system?
So now Woody Social is actually getting the metadata related to a video or to a photo that is posted on social network. We are working with some of our customers on a feature to also download the text only posts, for example, a tweet with no photo, no video, but only text. And in this case, it's really easy for us to forward this metadata to a newsroom system, to a media asset management system. We have already integrated our tools with Avid iNews, for example, for the newsroom. We have already existing integrations with Dalet as well. So it's super easy to transfer all the metadata that we gather from the social networks to a newsroom or a media asset management system.
Okay. And one question in the other direction, can I use Woody Outgest for publishing to YouTube and Facebook?
It's not available yet, the direct publishing in Woody Outgest, but it's part of our roadmap for 2019. Unfortunately, not for this first month of the year, because we have already a lot of work to do, but it's definitely on the roadmap to have this available in Woody Outgest.
Okay. Then one last question. Do you have a product that helps me connecting my archive to Avid Interplay? PAM.
Sure. That's already what we do with Woody Ingest for many customers who are handling all the restore from the archive to Interplay through Woody Ingest. So if you have such a project, just drop an email and we'll discuss about the solution we can offer you.
Great. That was everything about the questions.
Super.
So I think we are done for today, and I like to thank you for helping me with the webinar and the presentation.
No problem. It was a pleasure. Thank you for everyone to joining the webinar today.
Yeah, thank you for all participants. We will publish the webinar later on our YouTube channel, then you can get a better impression again. And for everybody who is not joining us on BVE, we are open to do a personal demo at every time, either remote or on site. Just let us know. The same as Aurélien already mentioned, we can do trial licenses for you for all the Woody products at any time. Then I like to say thank you to everybody and wish you a very nice evening today.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.